All right, y'all, Rob Anderson with Clean Power Wash. Want to go through kind of the anatomy of an unloader. Probably see a couple of other videos posted around the same time of this unloader and the situations we were having with this particular machine. So when you have an issue with the machine, first thing you want to make sure, obviously, do you have good water flow? Is that, if you're not having, if your pump's not putting out the same amount of pressure that you think it should be doing. Making sure, so obviously, that you got good flow, making sure your engine's running fine. But if that's not going, if those things are fine, but you're still having issues, then the next thing to do is check your unloader. What should happen, so this particular one, the water comes in here. It's set up on a remote mounting block, and this normally wouldn't be angled this way. This is just all loosened up. But we have it all quick connected for our bypass line here. And then this is where our pressure washer jump hose gets connected to, and then goes over to either to our downstream injector or just goes to our 100 feet of hose and continues on. This particular unloader is a VB85 RV. Our particular machine, it's on a 10-gallon a minute machine. So a couple things. One, you want to check this inlet. That's going to be most likely where you're going to have trash. You can see the ball. You can see the spring that's at the bottom there. Bypass line, we're going to just take this off. You could certainly, instead of having it quick connected, be able to do this with just a hose barb and then have it straight off and on. We used to do it with the quick connects because that enabled us to just disconnect it when we needed to winterize. And so we've continued to do that. It also makes swapping out a vehicle that much faster, or swapping out a whole machine. Just unplug that, unplug a couple quick connects, and then take it off the battery and you're good to go. So look in there, there really shouldn't be much. This side, I mean, obviously gets a ton of water flowing through it. We don't really need to take this outlet side. I mean, this side is going to be pretty well clear. We could take this and clear it out. That O-ring looks okay, but it does look a little bit chewed up. Trying to take this out. So this part comes off too. You can also just unscrew this with your Allen key. That would come out. Make a mess on this tablecloth. I'll take both these sides out. So here we've got our stainless, we've got our spring. You can have some of these O-rings that can get cracked, that could cause issues. Your spring, stainless steel ball. You want to look at the ball, see what condition that's in. Is it all pitted? Is it fairly streamlined, smooth looking? All right, so we're going to just set that aside here. Make sure your spring's still in good shape. It's fine. Nothing's broken off on it or anything like that. There was some trash originally in the top of this. There's actually a piece of the check valve, which was our indicator that we had an issue there. This also, you see, it's on a remote mounting block, so this is actually bolted to the side of the actual skid frame instead of it all having all the weight on the outlet of the pump, which, especially with how heavy this is and the higher flow, that can cause more issues. And typically we would have them, if they're not, or once the original unloader fails, we'll typically put it all onto quick connect fittings so that this can be completely swapped out faster. Here's your spring. So a couple things. Again, 10-gallon a minute machine, so higher flow rated. This spring's fine. You can see I've already taken this off. Undo this top screw. Some will have 2 screws on the top. That comes off. That comes off. There's another screw in here. I had to bang this on. This may be frozen on here. But the big thing to look at this right here should be nice and flat, so it would actually touch the ball. And basically it's either moving the ball forward or backwards, and then that's impacting your flow. But this one's pretty chewed up. You can see that's all jacked up there. The whole top of it is chewed up. So at this point, we're going to replace this whole unloader. You can buy the central part of it. Try to actually see with any of the previous unloaders that we have if any of those were the right size. but they're not. So we're going to get that ordered and replaced. Take that screw off and be able to remove the whole thing. Again, you're still going to look through, make sure all your other O-rings, if these are bad. These are all spots that you could have issues. You've got your washer, split washer there. And I believe that's one more. No, that's just part of the actual thing. So if this wasn't so jacked up, and if it was just trash, we'd put it all back together and be good to go. But because that's messed up, we're not going to be able to do anything more with that. Again, with the ball, if the ball was all pitted and everything, then that would be something else that could be replaced. Sometimes you'll have ones where it's a ceramic ball. If you're running bleach through the actual pump all the time, that would be helpful for having that. But this stainless steel ball is actually doing great. So that's, again, it in a nutshell, or bolts, or whatever you want to say. This piece does also come off. I haven't taken it apart because we've already found enough things that are wrong with this that we're going to just scrap this whole unit. Really, your springs aren't going to go bad. It's usually this is it, or having trash inside there. So there you go.